I'm A. Larson. After further investigation and thorough review by the jury, we have found you guilty as charged that you are a magnificent bastard who wrote one of the greatest novels of all time, Pennyroyal Academy. That's our review, everybody. See you later.
Oh my god. I thought. Okay. I'm going back to Arkham Knight.
All right, guys. I
Damn it,
apologize.
damn
But
it, you
god
lied to me.
damn you, Larson.
Yeah, that book was really good.
Yeah, it's
But no, damn it, why'd you lie to me like that? I was this close to back to playing Arkham Knight. No,
so
though,
yeah.
seriously, M.A. Larson is one of the greatest things to happen in the show. Like, I mean, I can never stop going on about my boy Polsky, about Powell, about Cindy Morrow, even though she's only written like 5 episodes. But seriously, Larson, thanks.
Oh, amending freaking fences. Oh my gosh.
This was, halfway through this episode, just to fast forward a bit, I thought I wasn't going to like it that much, only because I saw what they were doing. They were trying to do, it looked like they were trying to do what they kind of done with Lightning Dust, create this character that's basically this character to show that this character isn't as bad as people think, and then make that character the villain. Lightning Dust and Rainbow Dash, i.e. And they did that for a bit, but then they just did a swerve, and it's like, oh, no, 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 don't touch the feels. Ah! Oh, and it made you care.
I
Made you
know.
care so good.
So anyway, the episode starts off with Spike doing the dishes because what else is he good for?
Because Spike is best housemaiden.
Pretty much. And really think about it. That's all they want to give Spike nowadays. They just want to have him the punching bag.
Yeah, not quite as bad as like earlier season 4 episodes, like in Castle Sweet Castle, where he got like flown.
Oh,
Like,
thank God.
not Sweet Castle, Castlemania, when he got flown. If I hit that one key, he's like boing. It's like, I want to see friendship is magic or friendship is witchcraft.
Pretty much.
So Spike's doing the dishes, and then he makes a comment to Twilight, which, I mean, it's kind of true. He's just like, man, you're such a good princess of friendship. You're such a good friend now, dude. You sucked before, and she's like, I what? And she's like, oh yeah, dude, you were terrible,
Yeah.
but you're better now. And she's like, say what? My old friends? Wait a minute, who are my old friends? Is this Chain of Memories?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's interesting because Spike asks her to go up to the wall of pictures she has. It's like, do you know anyone? Like, do you see any of your old friends up there? And I love how the middle picture is Spike taking a selfie while the main six are in the back hugging during the coronation. I'm like, okay, that was adorable.
Okay, because Spike is best. Spike's the best a lot of things when he tries.
Mm-hmm.
So, My Little Pony, My Little Macarena, dum da da dum. The it flashes back before the crash. He's like, "Pack your bags, Spike. We're going to Camelot." He's like, "Crap," but then they go to Camelot, and I just want to say, consistency error. They did not have any packed bags. This is the worst show now. I'm leaving the fandom.
Wow. Thanks for being like such a brony.
Okay, honestly, people have quote unquote left this fandom for dumber reasons than that.
I know.
Ugh.
But anyway, so they go back to the original area in like the second scene of the first episode. And
That was awesome.
it's gone completely to ruin.
Yeah.
The book still opens to predictions and prophecies.
Covered with dust.
And Spike grabs the teddy bear that he had from Moon Dancer for the original party, and it's like, well, guess she won't be needing that. throws it out, and it's like, hey, the rest of it's still here. And you don't get to know what's in there until the very end of the episode, which we won't spoil it, but pretty much they're going around, and it's like, I gotta make it up to them. Uh, and then Spike just lists off Minuet, Twinkle Shine, Lemon Hearts, Lyra Heartstrings, and Moon Dancer.
It's a lot of heartstrings. I was like, what? Is she going to show up? No. Oh. She got named, though, so, I guess they feel like pushing Lyra instead of Sweetie Drops. A Bob.
Lyra, there's a dead man in our house. God, that video is hysterical.
That video is awesome. What happens next? Oh, yeah, so she goes to Colgate. I mean, what's her name? Minute Maid now?
Minuet.
Yeah, Minute Maid Lemonade. She goes to her and she's like, "Hi, what's up?" And she's like, "OMG, what is up? Dude, let me get a picture with you and your feathers." And at first, I'm like, okay, that's weird. And it kind of seemed like they were setting up like the whole, they weren't her real friends thing. But then that's the exact opposite because she meets them all for lunch. And they're like,
But here's one thing I found out that I watched it after the second time. Looking at that Spike taking a picture, you could see his finger in the very edge of the shot. I'm
Really?
just like, oh my gosh, that is like the perfect way to take a picture.
That I didn't notice that at all. That attention to detail. Goddamn these animators.
I know. And also, like, I haven't noticed it for like 2 seasons. But holy shit, the way their manes bounce when they move.
Mm-hmm.
It is so cool.
It's so it's like the subtlest form of expression with them.
Pretty much.
It's just there's so I love this show.
Yeah.
So they meet for lunch and she kind of goes on the big moral speech a little early, which they seem to do now. They seem to like present like the moral of a moral or message like during the first act, but then they just kind of like either laugh it off and they're just like, that doesn't really apply here because season 5 is the season that breaks all the traditions.
Pretty much.
And
So she tries to apologize to everyone, and they laugh for a second, and she's like, "Oh, great, this is how it's going right now." But they're like, "Yeah, it stung a little, but it wasn't a huge deal. We were used to that from you." I'm just like, "Oh, wow."
yeah, they really did a good job of. I mean, they didn't mean it ill intently, but they really made a good job of making Twilight like I was feeling bad in place for Twilight. I'm just like, God, you sucked.
Absolutely.
It was Twilight. There was Twilight like hating, quote unquote, without it being bashing, and that kind of made me smile.
Exactly. So, and I love that, like, the interesting thing that again with the animation, I'm sorry, I really enjoyed the detail in this episode. They pick up a donut, they split it in half, and they put half of it in their mouth. I'm like, okay, I usually only put a quarter in my mouth, but still okay.
Yeah. It's a dunking purpose, but live your dream.
Yeah. So they're like, they're like, let's go make some more memories, and they go past the old science lab, and I'm just
Yeah.
number one, I'm like, that is a cool building, and then it
Yeah.
does a flashback.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Well, I didn't notice that it was a flashback at first, in the sense, because like, well, what I mean is just like it does the flashback, and they're in science class. Twilight's being a little know-it-all and stuff, and it shows that her and Moon Dancer, who looks just like Twilight, can I just point out, just different colors. Although not as copy and paste as like, Daring Do and Dash, but
Yep.
excuse me. But yeah, it looks just like her. And then it pans out while it looks like it's still in the flashback back to Twilight. And I'm just like, and for a fraction of a second, I'm like, wait, was that a flashback, or are they seeing two Phillies that looked one who just looks just like Twilight? But then it's like, wait, that was a flashback. Damn, I forgot Larson was writing this episode.
Here's the thing, though. When you looked at it from this perspective, like you saw that Lemonard's got her head stuck in a chemistry beaker, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
number one, how does that work? But number two,
Oh,
I don't care. That's hysterical.
well, to answer
And
your no. Oh yeah.
Twilight's just like you. So you need. It's they pretty much bring up the book. So you need sodium chloride to make this work, and then Moondancer's like, she's like, well, I read ahead and I thought you had to use molasses to do it. Well, I read ahead too, and it says you need sodium chloride. And Moondancer's just like, oh, I have the wrong book. Hilarious.
And then it pans out, and this is like, man, that's it's kind of cool to dig a little into Twilight's past. Well, specifically part of Twilight's past that doesn't concern Celestia. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people go on and on about this, but I just wish that we could explore part of which I'm glad they did it in this episode. We explore parts of Twilight's past that don't really involve Celestia. They don't mention Celestia at all in this episode, and that's kind of what I liked. It's like, ooh, a Twilight developmental segment in Camelot, but know nothing about Celestia. Ooh, cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not even anything against Celestia. It's just that Celestia feels like more of like a defining trait of Twilight's character than her own character sometimes.
it's really sad too because now here's the thing. I don't hate Celestia.
I don't really
Far
think
from
anyone.
it. She just doesn't have enough of a character for me to want to like her.
I just don't. I think I don't think anyone actually dislikes Celestia. I mean, I think they just like Luna just because she seems to anyway have the more interesting story that
Mm.
they won't touch on, and she looks cooler.
Yeah, pretty much.
Her main are stars. I mean, Celestia's got that little rainbow thing going on, but her mane is made of the night.
I
That's
know.
cool.
So cool. So
So anyway,
they go to visit Moondancer, and I love when Twilight knocks twice. It kind of just breaks the wood in. I'm just like, oh shit, they're gonna get not only tickets for trespassing but also vandalism. Fuck. So so then Moondancer opens the door and it's like, what do you want? I'm trying to study, and then shuts the door. And then you get to the next scene. I think they're at the exact same table as they were at Candlelight Wedding, where Minuet, Twilight, and Spike are all there. Minuet and Twilight have these, like, Twilight has these cool diva glasses, and Minuet's
yeah.
like, fuck it, I'm going for like beach time glasses.
And then Spike just don't give a crap, and he's just like, "Ugh, this is boring. We've been doing this for 3 days. Library house, library house, library house. When
Now,
will this end?"
did you get a vibe of Breaking Bad from that?
From the whole
From the episode where it's like they plug in the GPS tracker thing and it's like Gus only goes from Los Pollos Hermanos back to his house, back to Los Pollos Hermanos, and just keeps going back and forth for like a week straight. Who does that? You know?
actually, ooh, not bad. Well, we already established last season that Apple Bloom is Walter White, so
Yeah, pretty much.
or Walter or Walter Wit. What's the thing horses do that starts with a W? Well, whatever. Oh,
Winnie?
Walter Whitney. I don't know.
Mind
That was bad.
blown.
Sorry, that was stupid even for me. So so they're following her, and Twilight is. I love this scene.
Oh,
It's
it's
where
my
they talk
favorite
about.
scene.
It's where she talks about the party, and it actually shows like in its original form and whatever, shows the scene where they're like, "Hey, Moondancer's having a little get together. You want to come?" And she's like, "Sorry guys, I got a jet because books." And then it cuts away before they reveal that one of those ponies didn't have the same voice actress, and and then and then it cuts back to Twilight. Her eyes are all red, and they're like shaking as it sinks in, and it sinks into her and the audience, because Minute whatever had mentioned how that was her first time reaching out because Moondancer is really shy, and Twilight's just like, "What did I do?" And I was like, ooh, that's powerful. That's good.
Yeah. And so Twilight goes in the library, and honestly, this is my favorite scene of the episode. They're going and it's like, oh my gosh, Moondancer, I didn't know you were. And then everyone's just like, shh, because it's a library and everything. And I'm just like, I think Twilight forgot her mannerisms because the Golden Oaks Library pretty much had no noise level like complaint at all. It
Actually,
was,
yeah.
it was pretty much just like do whatever the fuck you want, you're good. But she gets a bubble of silence, which I'm sure there's a lot of musicians out there that if we had magic in our world, we'd love to
Oh my
use.
God, totes, man.
So she's like, uh, freaking moon dancer is just like, nope, I'm gonna pop that bubble because yeah, we're not gonna talk right now. So then she tries to do that classic thing of she pulls the book off the shelf and then something's right behind that other part. And I'm just like, I always never understood this. In all of media, you only have one book on one side and then the other end's empty. I'm like, huh. That's kind of
Um,
interesting.
Maybe because they're fat books, or I don't know. Maybe the person on the other side of the books just cleared off that whole other shelf, just in hopes that they'll be able to line up perfectly with them.
Yeah. And then the best part happens. And
Where
I
Twilight goes into the book.
and honestly, the way I saw this, it reminded me of Fairly Odd Parents, honestly. When Cosmo and Wanda were in the notebook. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um and I know the animation reminded me of something else, but I can't think of it for the life of me.
Double Rainbow.
No,
Didn't
no,
didn't they use that
no.
art style when
Well, then I'm talking about like how the animation for Twilight in the book was almost like stop motion.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, Frankenbass?
No, actually, I don't remember. I'm thinking of like Thousand Year Door or something like that. I don't know, but
Wait a minute.
on
Paper stop motion? Paper Mario, dude.
yeah, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
Oh
Which
yeah.
honestly, if you have not played, that is one of the greatest RPGs of all time. What are you missing out on?
Is it better than Final Fantasy 13? I'm kidding that. I'm kidding that.
Final Hallway 13, rather.
I'm I'm kidding that. No, John Tron was called that. That game. Those. Okay, the first one's not bad, but the other two are just bad.
Yeah. So anyway, it's like, I'm sorry I missed your party, blah blah blah. And it's like, I want to make it up to you. So there Moondancer just is so Twilight brings Moondancer over to the old tower, and it's like, yeah, I'm showing you all these new things, and it's like, how did you know how to get into that book? That's one of Hagar's methods, and it's like, well, I did learn from Hagar. It's like, you what? And so they're in the tower and they're talking and all this stuff, and it looks like they're finally making a connection. And Twilight hands Moondancer the key to the tower, and it's like, you can come up here whenever you want to study because it was my old area. I'm just like, oh, that's so sweet. And it's like, you have to do something for me. You have to have dinner with our friends. And she's like, nope, not interested. She's about to leave. And then Twilight's like, what if I taught you Hakar's method? And that's the hook, line, and sinker, people.
Every time they said Hagar, all I kept hearing was Hagar, and all that made me think of was Sammy Hagar.
Pretty much.
God damn it. So that Hagar thing, that's kind of, you'd be surprised what you can learn when you're actually in a book. And it's like, yeah, I want to go in a book. Do you see I would use that so hard. You see how many Batman books I have?
Yeah,
I jump
right?
from the I jump from the 30s to that bullshit during Nightfall. That'd be rad. But
You need to find that enchanted comic book
comic
shop in
book
Canterlot.
Batman.
Yes.
So the
Batman.
so she has dinner with Moondancer and her friends, and it goes really wonderful. They hit it off. They're talking, laughing, I'm kidding. It goes horribly. Moondancer is giving one answer responses and just taking the piss out of everybody completely. And
And I
Twilight's
love her fields of study though. She's just like
what
magic,
was it?
chemistry, history, biology, that sort of thing.
Did she say pottery too?
Yeah, pottery.
It's like she looks like she would be interested in pottery. You seen that? You saw that turtleneck she was wearing?
Yeah. And so then you find out some other interesting things that it's like, are you wanting to become a professor? No, I'm just studying them. And I'm like, that is wasted talent there, honestly. If you want to study all that shit and not do anything with it.
But remember, like Sunset Simmer and Starlight Glimmer. This is another possibility of what Twilight could have been if she didn't go to Ponyville, or in Sunset Shimmer's case, if she wasn't a super ambitious little bitch.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
I mean,
And
Shimmer's better now, but she was a bad seed.
yeah, pretty much. So then you find out that Lemon Hearts apparently does all the like state dinners and big events at Canterlot Castle. And I'm like, that is fucking cool. I'd love
Yeah.
to have a job like that. But then I'm reminded that my friend Sonic Breakbeat does that for a hotel and he hates it. So I'm just like, oh, maybe that's not the greatest thing in the world.
Will be like, excuse me, sir. I ordered Chardonnay 65. This is a 67. Well, sir, I mean that is actually all we had in stock. The 2 years makes all the difference. Just like how in 2 years I'll make more money than you will in 20.
Why does that remind me of Jurassic Park when Hammond's talking
Oh
to
my
the
god.
lawyer and it's just like you're going to be paying me back or giving me apologies in 48 hours and then exactly 48 hours later he gets eaten by the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr.
T-Rex, T-Rex.
That was like the best part of you. I love Nostalgia Critic still.
Oh, good God, he's awesome.
He is funny. So, what happens next? Oh yeah, so they're out in the yard, and it's super obvious that Twilight didn't not showing up to the party, bummed out Moondancer a lot. But I kind of like that that she doesn't just outright confront her about it. She kind of remains ambiguous to it. But I kind of felt like they both kind of knew, what they were illuminating to and whatever. And and she's just playing the whole bitter friend thing, saying, it didn't work out for me before, so why would it now? Because you know you're a shy person, spend a lot of life alone. You have some friends, but then when you reach out, only to have someone who's not your friend not show up, that had to hurt. And
Yeah.
they really show that later. So Twilight devises a plan, and I thought she was referring to Discord for some reason when she did this, only because she's like, "All right, we need to make it up to her," and I know just the person to help me, because she looks up, and I'm like, "Wait, is Discord still in Canterlot or oh no, Pinkie Pie?" Oh wait, before
Yeah.
that, I forgot about the Did she see the flashback to the party?
I don't know. I think it's kind of like her interpretation of it. And even before that, you know, again, Larson, the way you make these characters, the way you shape them is one thing I really love about your writing style, because you see that with Moondancer, yeah, she's hurting, but she's keeping a lot of it in. With Twilight, you know her character, that she's not really one of those characters to quote unquote hide her feelings. So she's like freaking crying at this. She's like tearing up at this. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't believe how much I hurt her. And I'm just like, God damn it. Why are you doing this to me?
Someone joked with me once that Friendship is Magic is turning into an anime. And at first I was like, oh, they're making an anime adaptation? He's like, no, it's turning into an anime. Oh, what do you mean? Everyone cries now, all the time. Oh.
But you know what? With a lot of it, you know, granted, with anime, you see it realistic a lot of the time too. But with MLP, most of the time that you see tears, most of the time it's trying to make a point. It's trying to convey something. It has a deeper meaning to it. It's not just, oh, I feel bad, so I'm gonna cry. No, it tries to convey something.
If
And
this
that's what
was
I really love.
if this was an anime and that was a schoolgirl crush, he's just like, I just wanted to make my obvious crush a lunchbox. Why is that a thing in anime? I've seen in like three different animes, like one of the main driving forces between a character romance interaction is the inclusion of lunchboxes. I saw that in Chibi Vampire, I saw that in K, and I swear I've seen that somewhere else.
Hmm. I have no idea. Um, but pretty much, going back to the little flashback thing, her interpretation of it is that, yeah, it's like, thank you guys so much for coming. This means a lot to me. Where's Twilight? She couldn't make it. Oh, that's okay, I guess. And it's just so heart-wrenching, honestly, to see that. Um, that
And
it's like
also, oh,
we're
sorry.
it's almost like it's not really a bigger agenda, but it's almost like Moondancer wanted to make kind of have not only Moondancer herself come out of her shell, but also have Twilight come out of her shell a little bit too. Kind of killing two birds with one stone sort of thing. And it doesn't really work out that way. And it's really sad to see. And so Twilight brings Pinkie Pie in. You find out that Pinkie and Minuet already know each other.
Because, of course.
Yeah. And so, I mean, they've been alluding to it that either they'll come to Ponyville or Lyra to go see Lyra, or Lyra will come to Canterlot to go see them. And what is so great is the fact that it's like, yeah, Twilight, we should fly more often. And her tail acts like uh Tails helicopter moves from Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm like, we're finally represented.
That's what that reminded me of. I was trying to think the whole time. Where have I seen that before? Tails.
Yeah. They we 5 freaking years, and we finally have a Sonic the Hedgehog reference, and it's actually a reference that doesn't make this franchise sound bad. Thank God. You're going on a surface level. You're not going deep into it. That, yeah, the Sonic franchise is kind of dead right now.
Yeah, Sonic Boom though.
The show's okay, I guess. It has some of
The
those
show
weird,
is
like, it's one of those shows that while it has some good moments, that's unfortunately all it has. Like there's an episode where they go camping, and Eggman's just like, "Yo, Sonic, bro to bro, what's up with you and Amy?" I saw that. I saw that on Equestrian Mental Institution, which it's like he's just like asking the real fucking questions.
that show is actually kind of funny actually. Like I've seen, I've seen a few episodes of it, and it's actually pretty funny. I mean, I can see why some people might not like the designs, but writing wise, it's I don't know, it's funny.
Some
I
of
mean,
the
it's meant to be.
stories, some of the stories though are kind of stupid.
I didn't
Like
know
like
about that.
like the second episode is literally Eggman has to stay a couple days at Sonic Place, and he just takes advantage of it. I'm just like,
That was funny.
why is this look before you sleep, but even worse?
But the thing is that it's Dr. Eggman. Come on, that's just Eggman is one of the coolest villains in video games. He's one you can't take seriously, but the few times he gets serious, it's actually like, whoa,
And
Eggman, this
and
isn't Eggman, that's Robotnik.
and that unfortunate part is that he's like one of the only like really really good voice actors for Eggman.
Well,
Like,
he must
I
know
mean,
that.
you saw Ryan Drummond or Brian Drummond. I forget if it's Ryan
Yeah.
or Brian, but one of the Drummonds does a really good job of Sonic, and then you get another guy who does a good Sonic, but they never was able to really get Tails down. They never really got Shadow down. They never got Amy down. They
You
never
know,
got any of the other like outside casts down.
to me, I liked the Sonic X voice cast. I thought, like, I mean, some people didn't like Rouge's because she felt older than she was, but like
Mhm.
Tails, the chick who voiced Amy from 2005 until like 2011, that to me was the best voice for Amy.
Mm-hmm.
To me,
And
Shadow,
seeing like episode 52 of that, where uh what is it that at the very end they're back on Mobius, and right at the end, um Sonic comes back, and Amy's just like, I need to be strong for you, and I realized how much you needed me to be strong for you. And I'm just like, damn, stop making me feel. And then the series finale
you know what's
where
funny?
Cosmo dies, I'm like, no,
You know what's
don't make
interesting?
me feel so hard.
You know what's interesting about that? In the original Japanese version, Sonic straight up tells Amy that he loves her. So technically, it was canon for like a little bit.
And then you see, I'm actually going through the Japanese version because there was a lot of stuff cut from the 4Kids version.
Yeah, there
Fuck
was.
you, 4Kids. I mean, they had the freaking guns for against chaos in the game. Why couldn't it be in the show?
Because
But we're
Fox.
getting way off track.
Oh
We need
God,
to get
we
back
did.
to the episode.
Jesus Christ, where were we? So anyway,
They get a party set up, and Moondance is like, "You think this is gonna work and redeem me right away?" And Twilight's like, "Yes," because honestly, what else would you really think would happen? And then you see that Moondancer takes the pinata stick, and she's just like, the one time I try and come out of my shell and make everything work, and you don't bother to show up at all. Like, you don't even care about me. And then she breaks down. I'm just like, good God. Why couldn't that have been Lost Treasure of Griffinstone? Because you honestly see that where you see a flashback of Gilda as a little girl, and it's just like, or as a little griffin, I should say,
oh,
a,
Griffey.
a little birdie, a little bird. And it's you kind of get that question of Gilda, what happened to you? You see Moondancer full out here, and it's just like, God, that's so sad.
Just goes to show it only takes one good episode to give one character, a character we didn't even know, give a character that we never knew prior, good development and an arc, all in the span of 20 minutes, which tells me M.A. Larson needs to head his own season.
Well, he kind of is. He's the story editor for this season.
Oh, that explains it.
That's
That
why season
explains
5 is so good.
that explains why, even though there's a duddy episode, it at least has that little redeeming factor. Not like the second Flim Flam episode. You know, Applejack's Key episode.
Uh-huh.
It's not. It's definitely not as bad as Some Point to Watch Over Me, but you know,
Yeah, it
M.A.
was
Larson right in the Applejack episode.
God, so good.
So
So
so she's
then
breaking down.
go ahead.
So she's breaking down, and Twilight's like, you know what? You're right. I messed up, and well, I can't fix that. But you know, you can start anew, make new friends, and oh yeah, she brings over the librarier, the coffee maker, the bread breaker, and the I forgot how that rhymed is,
Candle.
and her
The
and
the
the candlestick maker.
yeah, pretty much.
And then she brought over her sister, and I'm like, oh, they just. I thought that because that transition kind of weird. It's like, oh, this person, my sister. It's like, oh, okay, they probably should have said her like first or something, and she didn't
And
have
I,
any lines. But
and I love how they each make one step and then she announces who they are. I'm just like, wow, is this supposed to be some sort of curtain call?
curtain call, the Eminem album. No, I'm kidding. Isn't that the one with "Losing" on there? And I'm gonna make you dance. Well, never mind. So she's like, thanks, Twilight. I needed to hear that, bro. She's like, no problem, bro. She's like, bros, yeah, let's bro down. And I'm like, well, the transition was a little fast, but not nearly as rushed and forced-ish as Gilda. So you know what? I'll let it
And
slide.
honestly, at least it wasn't as forced as the first Equestria Girls movie. It's just like she gets defeated. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't
You
know what
know,
I was
and
doing.
it,
Just like, oh my gosh.
it
Even
at
when The
least
Rock
helps.
completely makes up for it.
Yeah. You know what? I'm so glad they took because I didn't think there would ever be a sequel, and the fact that had the risk, they had the balls to take that risk with that movie. They're just like, you know what, man, we got this, and we need to sell our toys, so let's give it a shot. And they're like, yes, awesome, the Bronies love the movies. We're gonna sell so many toys now.
And then you see Friendship Games now that's announced, and I'm like, honestly, I will be happy if they have a drumline battle in the middle of that somewhere.
Oh, they totally. If they're going for full on high school type things, oh, you know they're totally going to. Don't worry, you're gonna get your drumline dues in this show eventually.
I'm sorry. I was in an indoor competitive drum line when I was younger,
Yeah,
when I was in high school, so I'm kind of biased for that.
when you're younger,
So
that was like what 5 years ago. You're like 20.
actually, that was holy shit, like 8 years ago.
How
Holy
old are
crap.
you?
I am 23 years old.
When were you? When the hell were you 23?
I've been 23. I'm turning 24 this year.
I'm 20.
Well, I still do act like I'm 19
I'm
or
a little
so.
kid. Uh, we got off track a lot in this episode, but honestly, I really did enjoy this. Oh, by the way, while you were explaining some of the plot, I was curious because I forgot to look in the credits. Like, it was like, God damn, who the hell voiced Moon Dancer? Kazumi Evans, dude.
She is amazing, honestly.
Kazumi Evans, the Rebecca Sinla shit, whoever is the chick that voices Sunset, but
Uh-huh.
also sings for Twilight, her, Tabitha St. Germain, Kazumi Evans, like I said, and Andrea Libman. Oh my god!
You guys are amazing.
Too amazing. They're so amazing. I'm jealous. I kind of want to take their voice. Oh
Ah.
wait, yeah, that was the thing they already did. Oh yeah, and I think he knows already, but she also voiced Octavia, I think.
Yeah, she did. That was
Yeah,
amazing.
and she's Luna's singing voice.
Pretty much.
Of
So
course.
yeah, that was Amending Fences, and and at the very end of the episode, you find out what was in that other end of the gift for Spike. It was a
Yeah,
picture of all of them just in there together at the donut shop, and Twilight has a little book in front of her. It was honest. It it made my heart jump. I'm just like, that is so adorable.
At the end of the episode, all I could think of is, wow, character development. And character development equates to symbolism!
Yes.
It was
Oh, and
actually.
I finally know where you got that symbolism thing from that
Aww.
one from that one CR video when he did the season 4 retrospective, and you see that guy just go symbolism.
Yeah, that reviewer dude, Film Brain, that's where it just, I'm just like, dude, that's great. Symbolism! Because symbolism is a thing that this show gets right a lot of the time with
Yeah.
some of its foreshadowing and character stuff, and it's just like, ooh, wow, that's good. But both little things, and then now, they call back. This is the oldest they've ever called back, because this goes to like the second and third scene of the first episode. So nothing is off limits to the symbolism, or getting revamped. I mean between that, Gilda, the point I'm trying to make is, God damn it, they better bring the changelings back.
So this
Hashtag we want the goddamn changelings.
so we should probably wrap this up because I think this will probably be one of the longest videos we've done. Um,
Yeah.
I give
Yeah.
this episode a 9.5 because holy crap, I I'm just completely mind fucked right now. This episode was amazing.
This episode was really great. I'm gonna give it a what do I feel like it? I kind of want to give it like an 8.9, only because like it was really good. There were some. Now let's give it a 9. There were some things that there's some really great things about this. There were some minor things that held it back for me from being a 10, but there were a lot of strong things. So I think a 9 is fitting for me for this episode.
All right then.
This was great, and damn, I always forget just how good this show can hit you at
I know.
times.
It's weird. It kind of has that this show kind of has where if it's a good episode, it's a really freaking good episode. If it's a bad
Yeah.
episode, it's a really freaking bad episode. And then you have a string of bad episodes. That's how much I love this show, because you either get god tier episodes, like hell tier episodes, and kind of like in the middle episodes. It
Yeah,
really works out well.
most episodes for me fall like in the middle tier. I mean, there's some episodes that I say I hate, but I could watch every episode in the series whenever. There are just some I would watch a lot more. There's like Mare Do Well and Spike Shashiris. Those are my least favorite episodes. But I could put them on again and rewatch them to reevaluate myself and be like, okay, maybe Mare-Do-Well isn't worth crucifying that much. Definitely a curb stomp, but not a crucifixion.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we
Ooh, I
should probably
remember
wrap this up.
next week's the episode where Luna sends them off to find stuff that turns dreams to nightmares. Luna mission.
Wait,
Yes.
what?
Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah, the description is, Princess Luna sends the main six on a mission to discover a magical essence or whatever that turns dreams into nightmares. Does that mean that those nightmare things from the moon in the comics are
The,
canon?
the nightmare dreamscape. Oh my
Damn. Okay, let's go before we get too hype. That's it.
gosh! All
That's it from me, John.
right. And that's it for me, 6 Kid 94.
And we will talk to you guys later. Peace out, Dragon.
Peace out.